Well, good morning, folks, and welcome back to the farm. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. I think it's about -2, -3, something like that. Just gorgeous. We're out here with the toboggan, and we're very blessed to live on a place with quite a big hill. So I've been grooming this, running up and down with the skidoo and the toboggans for a while now. And Carm just run to the house with the side-by-side. She's gonna grab a set of skis. We're gonna see if Charlotte can ski down this hill. And being that it's such a nice day, actually later today what we gotta do, we gotta sort sheep. Or separate the rams from the sheep. Reason being for that is today is a hard date. 145 days from today, 145 days being the gestation period of a sheep, 145 days from today will be the 2nd of June. And June we're heading to Europe for a couple of weeks, so certainly don't want to be having any lambs while we're not home. So later today we're going to sort them out. But for right now, bloody hell am I getting my exercise pulling this thing up this godforsaken hill. Man, I should have brought the skidoo down. It's sitting way up there at the top. Actually, scratch that. Someone here is a little too cold, aren't you? Are you cold? Do you want some hot chocolate? Yeah. So we're gonna run back into the house, but we're out there with the skidoo anyways. I took a run. I noticed that the old mineral feeder was still sitting out here in the field, and I've been eyeballing it for a while now, but thought, it's probably just froze to the ground. We skidoo by, and sure enough, it's actually not froze to the ground. So, I mean, I paid for it. I might as well use it. So I'm gonna pull it back into the yard with the skidoo, and where all the sheep are, because I got to move all the sheep together anyways, I'm gonna put that in there for them. So currently right now I do have a grain trough, but it's fairly low lying, and the problem I find with it, because it's very, very low lying, is that they'll walk around in it, and if they can walk around in something, they can poop in something. So they'd actually physically have to jump up and into there in order to poop in it. They're probably less inclined to do that. It's a little bit more inconvenient for them. So I'll haul this one in. It's got salt blocks in the end, and I put grain in this side usually. So just something a little bit more better suited for the application, I guess. And then while this one here is having hot chocolate, I'll see if I can't wrangle up some sheep. So before I moved the sheep, I actually came down here with this little 20-volt saw that I got, DeWalt saw, and cut a big old tree branch off the fence line. And so this is my Christmas present, kind of my Christmas present. Actually, my mother-in-law gave me a Milwaukee 18-volt, but I don't own any Milwaukee tools, so I did the old let's trade it in for a DeWalt, because since all I have is DeWalt 20 volts, and the price was only $2 difference. So this is actually a pretty good little buy, and without having to do any pulling, choking, sweating my bag off just to get the thing running. I got that tree branch just cut right off of there like nothing. All right, so we're gonna go try to catch some sheep here. I say catch some sheep. I really only need to catch the ram, contain the ram. If I can have all the rest of the girls loose, they'll just follow me across the yard with the bucket here. But in order to catch the ram, I'm probably gonna have to catch a couple girls. And as I mentioned yesterday, everything you think you want to get done with a sheep is really dictated by how much you appeal to their stomach. So I got a bucket of grain here, and I got a little catchment pen down here at the edge of the field. So we'll see if we can get them and sort the girls out here right away. Boy, I wish I could have filmed that, because I got him exactly where I want him to be, and these ladies exactly where I want them to be. So talk about a win-win. So now I just gotta get these girls across the yard. Eventually somewhere here there's gonna be a fiasco. I'm not sure where it's gonna be, but there'll be one. Come on, girls. Here, sheep, 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 sheep. Here, sheep, 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 sheep. Most of them are smart enough to know I left all the grain back there. I didn't think that was going to go that well, so I dumped all the grain on the ground I should have maybe dumped just about a half a cup full and kept some in my bucket, but here, sheep, 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 sheep. There's a couple of greedy guts here. Thelma's one for sure. Kylie's another one. Irene, oh yeah. There'll be a couple hungry girls. We'll get across the yard here in no time. Here, sheep, 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 sheep. They're not really boss ewes, but their guts kind of run the show for them, and they're willing to follow, so I'll take advantage of that. They don't have leadership capability, just digestive capability. Oh, they're thundering across the yard without me. That's fine, they're going exactly where they need to go. As long as they just get there and wait, and don't bugger off somewhere stupid. So all the sheep that were with Todd are in here now, exactly where they're supposed to be. Now I gotta go get Jock's ewes. Still in with his ewes, so we'll see how this goes, but I'm gonna try and do very similarly to what I just did on the other side. See if I can just slowly let him through, and whoever comes into here, great. And then I'll probably just let all the girls out into the big field, and then they're out of harm's way, and I'll let the ram in here, load him up, probably load him up in the trailer or something like that, and just take him across to spend the rest of the winter with Todd there. I'm not really keen on trying to walk the ram across by himself, because if he sees or hears or smells something, well, then there's no amount of grain that can coax a ram away from his desires, so to speak. Well, it was pretty easy actually. I got all the girls now in one spot, and I got to thinking about it, and I thought, man, if I open that door and I let them out, there's nothing but 1-page wire fence between them and the ram, and I'm about to try and wrangle that ram. And yeah, like I said, I probably can't coax him with his stomach. I need to coax him with his balls. So what better way to do than just open that door, leave these girls penned up in here, open that door and just let them come right into the barn. And they can stay well contained. And I'll put them over here, pen them up, and then I'll back the horse trailer in and load them up. That'll be a lot better than dealing with fence jumping and fighting and farting around. So I like using the barn because I don't have a handling system, right? I've just got a whole pile of panels, but I like using the barn because it's a really good control point, right? I can close the door, I can close a panel, I can close, and ultimately, if I got that door closed or that door closed, whatever exterior door closed, sure, I might have 17 rodeos all day long in there, but I've got containment. And I know in the early days when we first started this, our containment was like a 14-acre field. And so the rodeos were real big at that point in time. And we learned a lot of fancy new swear words. We lost a lot of weight. There was some stress, both marital stress as well as, individual like animal welfare stress from just running around in circles. So really, really glad. I know it costs a lot of dollars to have something like this, but really, really glad to have it because, well, I'm not going to say it makes it easy, but it sure makes it a hell of a lot easier than it ever was before, that's for sure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get that big fella, I'm going to lock him in that pen over there, and I'll have containment, right? That's him. He'll be somewhere where he can't be anywhere else. And then I'll let the girls, and then they can go outside, and I'll close the big door, and he won't be able to see anybody, and it's just going to be me, him, and the horse trailer. And I think that's a much, much better plan than some of the plans I come up with some days. Come on there, fella. Let's see if we can get you in one of the pens here. Oh, you want to go in a big one? That's fine too. All right, fella. Say goodbye to your girlfriends. They're going to the ladies only club for the rest of the winter. Go on out with the girls. Of course, you got to take the panels with you. Single file. Be polite and courteous. No rush. We're selling tickets all day. You don't need to trample each other. There you go. Now they're gonna have to figure out their wiggles for a little bit. Of course, they all know each other. They spent all summer with each other. But they've been apart for quite some time too, so there's a little bit of hierarchical stuff they might need to figure out. Hey Everest, how are you doing, buddy? You're gonna be a good sheepdog one day, aren't you, mister? So the other beauty of this whole thing is I've got one round bale, one waterer, one bedding ground, one shelter, one thing to really maintain for the largest amount of input that we currently have, or we're about to have, of course, late winter, early spring. And then behind the shop there, where I've had half of these critters, I'm just gonna have the 2 rams. So they have half a round bale there right now. And there's probably gonna be enough water that melts off of the roof of that shop that I won't have to pack water or nothing to them. Of course, I'm gonna have to check it all the time just to be sure, but for the most part, my inputs are gonna be pretty low. And that's just the way I like it. I usually don't like to take a sheep for a walk. It's not favorable. They're not keen on it. I still got highway slicks on the truck, so having a little trouble getting around in the snow and ice in the yard. So we'll just go for a walk. No, not that way we won't. Over here, fella. All I gotta do now is let that fella out. And I'm sure, same as the other pen, they'll have some wiggles they'll need to get out, but 5 minutes, they'll be the best of friends. Yeah, you guys will get along just fine, won't you? That's perfect. Right, Ranger? Yeah, that's just perfect. Hey, you're a good boy, aren't you? Yes, you are a good boy. Well, I missed it, but Jock jumped the fence. Todd met him square up, head-butted him right in the forehead. I'm pretty sure that Jock's fully retarded right now, but I'm glad they got that out of the way and they can be somewhat sociable again. Figure it out, boys. Which one of you is going to be the wife? Figure it out. Well, the boys have settled down there now, and the girls seem like they're getting along just famously, so I think that's about enough for a day. I better head inside and see about a bit of supper or maybe a cup of tea. So I'll let you go for now. Hope you have a fantastic day. We'll see you tomorrow.